World of Warcraft has been bleeding players for a while. Asmongold has been complaining about it for a while, but one of the constant things is Final Fantasy players, since the inception of the game, have hounded all of their friends to play. You see Blue Westlow saying, hey, everyone, there's free trials. I always see it. It's actually on Mr. Fruits and their podcast, GG Over Easy. It's one of the shticks that they go to is sometimes Blue will just blurt out in the middle of it like, hey, have you guys heard of Final Fantasy XIV? And they really do have a loyal audience. But that's because the game has continued to update, has continued to do really well with their updates, and the hype is real. And it's actually been drawing in a lot of new players. Now, one of the big players, Asmongold, who has been, he's one of the biggest streamers, period, on the platform.
He's a WoW but he's mainly a WoW streamer, right? So This is like WoW, not WoW's golden goose per se, but like is a huge WoW streamer. Right. Obviously, he does more stuff, but he's known as a WoW streamer.
Yeah, like he's
kind of like what Grenadier Jake is to Trials.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
except
if all of a sudden Grenadier Jake is like, by the way, I'm never playing Trials again because I want to play this game, people are going to talk, right?
Right, yeah.
And so Asmongold has been getting hounded to play Final Fantasy for ages, and he's always said no. And then he decided to finally do it. He finally does it. His stream pops off with 300,000 viewers, like one of the biggest streams Twitch has ever seen. But then everyone else started getting hyped too. Because everyone's seeing the major viewership potential here. This is a big moment. If Asmongold is playing it, maybe there's some nice views there. So there has been a huge surge of streamers streaming the game, but one of the biggest things is people now downloading it and trying it themselves. There are free options to get quite a bit of DLC and different things that the developers had to shut down the downloads. They had to shut down purchases for the game because they couldn't keep up with the load. There was going to be too many new players, the servers couldn't handle it, and they had to literally axe it. They're like, you know what? We can make so much money, but we're stopping it because we can't deal with all this money. We don't have enough briefcases. The bank can't take all this money. Like, it's insane.
That's so crazy, dude. Like, imagine, it's like, bro, the Witch Queen is so fire, we gotta shut down Eververse for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are literally spending so much silver, we gotta shut it down.
Yeah.
Imagine having that problem where you have a faucet. Right? You have a faucet that's shooting out money, and you get to the point where you're like, turn it off! Turn it off!
Turn it on! It's too much!
It's bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen a game do that. I mean, there's games like Cyberpunk that pulls their game from the stores, but that's for different reasons. But they're literally suffering from success. And, is this a trend that's going to continue? Asmongold's playing it. I've seen so many different streamers. I mean, even me, I've played in the past, and I'm like, sheesh, maybe I need to get back into the game and try it out.
I mean, dude, this is crazy. Like, because this is like, it's crazy because like Final Fantasy Online is like a direct WoW competitor, right?
Yeah.
It's that classic MMO. I mean, obviously there's gonna be difference, but it is like, it's almost like
that mold, yeah.
It's Call of Duty versus Battlefield, right? It's like everyone's like, why do we compare these things? They're so different. They're not. They're both military shooters. They're gonna compete in the same space, right? Like a lot of people only have the time, not just the money, but the time to go into one. So to have like your direct competitor, like one of the main streamers from your game, jump ship, bring over, like you said, Tash, all these other streamers, a lot of other WoW streamers see the potential and all want a little bit of that success too, so they jump ship as well, and you have this mass exodus from WoW over to one of its direct competitors. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. And you know what you should definitely do if you're the developer of the game where that influencer is leaving? You should definitely crap talk that guy openly. That would be the best. That'd be the best play.
That is a good idea because there were some leaked messages, like minutes from some meetings. We don't know if it's fully true, but there were some leaks where they were talking about this exodus from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy. It is the elephant in the room. They're obviously talking about this in meetings, but also, apparently some of the devs at Blizzard got in trouble and they had to send out a company-wide email saying, hey guys, unless you're with the PR team, unless you're with the marketing team, don't be talking to our players because apparently some of the
Don't
devs
represent us.
yeah, they were like roasting some paying customers and got in trouble for it. But also in some of the meetings, they've referenced Asmongold as ya boy Asmongold. They've called him toxic. They've called him what was it? A dog whistler or something like that.
And like a dog whistler for like toxic males or something like something like that. This is like a leak, like a 4chan leak. We don't know if it's true, like, but it's basically like they're like it's one of those things where it's like this is clearly like we can see this mass exodus and how it's a big deal and how it's really bad for Blizzard. Obviously, the people at Blizzard are like watching the numbers plummet and they're like crapping their pants right now because. Yeah. There's been a lot of complaints from the community, especially since Activision came into the picture, that things have like, and also there's been not only a mass exodus of players from WoW to Final Fantasy, there's a mass exodus of developers out of Blizzard.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an interesting conversation. This whole situation could be good for gamers. Why? Because Blizzard, they sort of embody this idea of when capitalism invades the gaming space, where they go public and now these people who are higher ups, it used to be, this was actually part of the conversation this past week about this topic. It used to be the people that work at Blizzard are gamers making games the way they want to game their games. It's gamers making games so they can play those games and hoping that other gamers get involved. It's all gamers. But now people start seeing dollar signs in the gaming industry. Blizzard goes public. A lot of those original devs are out, and they reportedly have this problem where these higher ups, they're interested in dollar signs. So the hiring process really looks like hire new blood for a new project, can them, cycle new guys in. It's like the corporate industry all over again. Mm-hmm. So how do you stick it to the man? You have a mass exodus of players and work and talent,
But that's also the capitalism of you have this direct competitor who are running things better. Like it's like it's one of those crazy things where in the pursuit of money, right, which Activision clearly is, you start to lose money because you destroy your brand and you destroy the things that got you the interest and the player base and the money. Whereas like other companies that have a little bit more foresight maybe and or a more player friendly, they will start to grow and gain in those areas. Like it's just really interesting because like, oh dude, it's a never ending debate. Like because remember not too long ago, with Beyond Light, where Destiny players were saying, we miss Activision. Because we miss those Activision dollars, bro. We can't even get a PvP map. We need someone to give us a little bit of that Activision money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not so clear cut. Like, clearly Activision is also investing into these companies as well. And, it's very easy to blame Activision. And I'm sure they're like 99.9% to blame. But also with the mass exodus of people from Blizzard, remember they've had to promote people that maybe weren't qualified or maybe weren't the best at their positions right now. And like Blizzard is making a lot of these decisions too in the direction of the game, and Activision is just funding them and demanding that they make more content. So it's like, it is just it's a toilet. The whole toilet and it's just one big swirl of just everything going on. Blizzard, it does not look good right now for them, honestly.
The interesting thing though is, after some of these leaks were put out, there's actually someone, of course I deleted, or I closed the tweet, but I saw one from a dev at Blizzard where she essentially said, if you think it's just Blizzard, it's every AAA game studio. And, there's a reason for it. There's these guys that don't know what they're doing at the top getting a $10 million payout while they lay off a bunch of people. And the people that actually created the game are saying, screw it, I'm going to go make my own game. Because unlike us, they actually can do it. They can actually go and make that game, and they can make a damn good game. Funding is another thing, but they're going and making their own studios. Yeah,
you have stuff like Kickstarter. It's like you can get funding from the public. Now, there's been some great Kickstarter games. There's also been some absolute stinkers and the people that kind of almost ran away with the money, right? Like we never. So
the thing The thing though is like because they are senior devs that know how to code and like storyboard and get things going, if even a few of them go, they can probably get a working build out so fast compared to the average person to then demo it and get the crowdfunding. You know, they can be like, here's the game we're building. Does this look cool? Fund us. Where other people, you know, they got to spend $500,000 just to get something working so they can maybe do that. These guys are like, we know how to build it. We're going to build it. Yeah. You take a look and then you pay us. You know, like they really do have an opportunity there to expedite the process.
Or will you see? Well, yeah, will you see more Bungies? Like where Bungie is their own studio and they're self-publishing now. Would Blizzard have been better off? I mean, it's such a huge monster developer, but whatever next developer these ex-employees make, or you have, you know, people like Gearbox. It's kind of weird. Like Gearbox is owned. It actually just got acquired. I think we talked about that story. Like, would it be better off as Gearbox of their own? They're self-published, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're not beholden. Well, they were 2K and now they're this other company, but it's like that could be an interesting thing. We see more independent developers self-publishing.
Right. One last thing on the Final Fantasy thing, as well as the World of Warcraft, is there are also some more MMOs dropping. We've got Ashes of Creation. You know, that's on people's radar. We've got the New World game. You know, that's the thing is there is more competition for World of Warcraft now, and
except for New World's charging you to freaking level up, remember?
Yeah, for sure. And who knows if they're actually good, but I think after people have played X amount of hours of World of Warcraft, maybe they're just looking for something new. Maybe they feel like they've solved the game and they just want a new world to dive into. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. We all are gamers and we want to play different games. Some of us play 8,000 hours of Destiny and don't get sick of it. And then there's people like me that quit every 2 minutes. But
but
you embrace it. Yeah.
It's also an interesting thing. You're right. I want to, you know, we try to play different games, but like the way games are designed nowadays, it's they want you to only play that one game. Mm-hmm. It's you need, you know, oh, you want to get the transmogs for your Destiny character? You better be playing, you know, 10 hours a day, idiot. And you're like, bro, chill. It is the developers, they realize that time spent is important, and they want to make sure that you're spending all your time in one game, but it's conducive to these problems where it's you don't leave and come back, you just leave or you get sick of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's you know, you play a 8 hour campaign. At the end of the day, you're happy. Whereas, in these long-form games, when you leave, you're miserable.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird, dude.
Sure.
It's like a breakup.